Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. Today I'm working on a clump style Japanese maple, Acer Orange Dream, and I think it needs a bit of tweaking, so let's take a closer look. This composition wasn't my very first video, but I think it was in the first 20 or so. And I got some Orange Dream Acers from Morrison's, clumped them together, wrapped them with wire, and then spread the branches by putting sticks in between. And it's done a good job. It didn't have a super healthy year. I ended up potting it on into a bigger pot and it survived. None of the trees are dead, but I want to take these sticks out and I want to use an alternative method of pulling these branches apart. You can see the method I used was just wedging sticks in between, and it does work quite well, I think, just to hold the trunks apart. They've not got a bad spread. I'm liking it, but I want these branches bent more over so that they're sort of splayed out. And the way I'm going to achieve that is by using wires attached to the edge of the pot. You can use any type of garden wire for this, but the last time I went to the range, they had this galvanised steel wire. This will do the job perfectly. But because the bark on maples is so soft, if I wrap this around, there's the danger of marking and damaging the branches. So I'm going to use some of that tubing that I showed you in the last video. I bought 10 meters of this stuff, and as I said, it's to help me drain a tank that's catching water where my roof is leaking. But I also picked a gauge that will be good for bonsai, and this has got an internal diameter of 4 millimeters, external diameter of 6. And what I can do is I can use pieces of this to wrap around the branches, and it'll really protect the maple. So you just get a piece like that, cut it off and push your wire through. Job's a good one. I could just go around and drill random holes around the edge, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill each hole sort of bespoke for each branch that I want to pull down. So the first one is this. I want this one over here. And what I'll do them in opposites. So when I do one on one side, I'll do one on the other side. So we want a hole here. And that means I'll want a hole on the opposite side over there. This one's going to be pulled in this direction. That's already out. This one's coming over here. This one will come over here. I think that central one there is okay. And this one will come in this direction. So let's just start with those. That's a good start. So I'll take a piece of wire to there twice. That'll do. I put the piece of tube onto the wire. I've never used this technique before. People have been telling me to use it for years. And I just do that. That goes around here. And then I can just pull this branch down and that's it. How easy is that? And it gives it quite a nice curve actually. So I've got my next piece of wire. It's quite enjoyable this. I love using a new technique like this. And this twin trunk here, I think these are going to have to be pulled individually. So I can wrap this around there like that. Pull it down. There. And this should counteract the pull of, as I said earlier, the tree on the other side. So I just twist that there. Nice. Oh, I like this. This is good fun. this one next. I think this will end up being a technique that I use on other trees and other species, but particularly with things like maples that are very prone to be damaged. When you get the wire biting in on a maple, it's really ugly. So I've cut this wire a bit long really, it didn't need to be that long, but I can just twist it like that. And then keep going. Lovely. What a good technique. I mean, I enjoy lots of different bonsai techniques, but it's certainly pleasing when you try something new and there's no kind of surprises like there is sometimes. You try a technique and then you go, oh, flipping out. I see, that's difficult, but with this one it seems pretty straightforward really. Let's go for this one now. Wrap that there. Pull this down. And there we go. Oh yeah. Now I only did, that's all the holes that I drilled. Oh no, I drilled one over here. But I've got a branch here that I definitely want to bring down. So this wants to come in this kind of direction. So you can just as you go, you just keep working your way along. I could edit this out, but you know, what else are you doing? You may as well listen to me waffling on. And this steel wire is good. It's quite strong. I know you would expect it to be strong with it being steel, but it's yeah, I've made a mess with that one. What am I doing? There we go, that's better. See, that one might be coming a bit far, but then it'll probably bounce back afterwards, so I'm okay with that. Right, now do I want to do them all? That's the question. Well, this one needs pulling down. I'll give you a view later from a slightly lower angle, and you should hopefully be able to see the sort of what I'm achieving from a slightly lower angle. Oh, that one flew. Oh, it's better to cut those with scissors than snips. See, I'm always learning and I'm always sharing this invaluable information with you. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, fair play, I don't blame you. Right. Oh yeah, I love this technique. But you just do it, it works best just on one branch or trunk at a time. You know, I don't think it'll work trying to pull down sort of two branches. Oh, that's good. Now this one that's left in the middle, there's nothing wrong with having one in the middle, obviously. But could that come over this way a bit? I think so. That'd be more interesting. If I can pull this central one into this sort of gap here. So it wants to come there It'd be interesting to see how well these hold. But with them being sort of quite gently worked on in this way, there's nothing to say that I can't just leave these on all year. These can stay on for the next 12 months because they won't be damaging, the branches. Right, so this one, it's a bit stiffer, this one. I can feel it, I can feel the tension in it as I pull it. Yeah, so I'll go lower with it. Oh yeah, definitely feel that tension there. Nice. I'm just thinking if this one now could come over in this direction just a bit. And I've already got actually a hole here. So, cut my wire. I think in future videos what I'll do is I'll have all these wires pre-cut and all the bits of tube pre-cut, and it'll make the video a bit slicker. But I'm still learning, as it's the first time I've tried the technique. Now this one, this is interesting. I put a hole here and that's now clashing with this branch, so it has to come this way. So I need a hole. In fact, I can twist these there like that. Yeah, and I just want the hole in a different spot, so this hole's better there. There. So there's only one that I've not touched, and it's this one. So I think I may as well go the full hog. And that can just actually go over into this same hole, because this isn't going to be pulled much, this one. I'm kind of overdoing them on the angles that I'm pulling them to, because I think they'll bounce back a really significant amount. I suspect they're going to go right back, even if I leave them in place for a year. That's just kind of the feeling I've got. Yeah, so this one can just come over through this same hole like that. Down there, pull it across. Kind of, this pot looks mad. Looks like some kind of alien spaceship or something. Right, so let's have a look from a bit lower down now, and you can see the overall effect from the lower angle. So looking at this now from a lower level, we can see what's happening in terms of the shape, and I think it's looking so much better than it was at the beginning. I mean, this one here hasn't had any wire on it, but again, I could pull that across actually, just to kind of separate these branches. So I will do that. I'll add a piece on here quickly. Doesn't take long to do. So I'll pop that on, and there's massive potential for using this technique because it's so easy and simple to apply. Sometimes in bonsai you kind of don't do things because you go, oh, I can't be bothered with that, but this is so easy, there's no excuse. So again, I pull that down there. And that's now just separating these branches there, which is good. Are there any more? Maybe these, maybe they could be spread apart. I think I'd have to I'm not sure whether that will require wire. Go and have a go though. I'll have a go because I do like to push these techniques a bit further. Push myself out of, I suppose, my comfort zone. Yeah. So I can apply multiple wires to each branch if I want. That makes sense. So I'll do the thick one first. So although this is being pulled low down to get it over here, I'm now pulling up at the top, up here, to try and get a bit of bend into that branch. Oh, and it is doing. So it's got a bit of movement there, and then I can put this other one over here into that hole there. So again, I'll loop it over the top, give it a twist down through the hole, and because this is a thinner branch, this has really pulled it out quite a lot and very easily. So now these two are splayed apart, and they were quite close earlier. So I'm liking this technique. And that's it. I think we're done there. That one's turned into a bit of a weird looking bonsai, but I like it. I think it's cool. I'm going to be removing the wire in the spring to take a look at the actual trunk and see how that's fusing together. I think it should be well on its way come late spring, summer, so that'll be an interesting thing to look at. Apart from that, thanks for joining me as always. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.